Hi and welcome to another video on my channel. Hi, it's great. Thanks for coming back. Sorry, I'm still awkward and my audio is still trash, but you're here and I appreciate it. Alright, so let's just jump right into it. So today we're going to be talking about products that I regret buying. So it's basically just going to be a magical journey of me wasting money and you guys get to enjoy it. Alright, so let's start with our first group of products. So I'm just gonna get started with some of my highlighters, blushes, and bronzers. And I'm going to start with these lovely guys. Alright, so these are the cream blushes from Fenty Beauty, and they are the Cheeks Out blushes, and I also have the Cheeks Out bronzer. So my bronzer is in Honey Glaze, my blushes are in Rose Latte and Fuego Flush. So I freaking hate these products. One, they're really expensive, like for the blushes in particular, they're just really expensive. They were $20 each. Yeah, I think they were like $20 each. So yeah, I spent $40 on these comically small blushes, and mind you, they're pretty when you swatch them on your hand, but as soon as you put them on your face, it's kind of gross. If you look at the pan, I don't know if you could see there or not. I do have my autofocus on, but who knows if it works. If you can see in the pan, it's really gross. And okay, so I watched the tutorial on how to apply it, because I really am not a huge cream blush fan. I use a Glossier Cloud Paint because it's easy. It's more liquidy than it is an actual something heavy and creamy that's pressed into a pan. So that's easy to use because you're just tapping with your fingers. But for some reason, I got the brush and everything for the from the tutorial, because I was okay, I'm just gonna assume that I need this brush, and it's just freaking, it's so terrible. It's terrible because it's greasy. It's greasy, and usually I'm okay with a little bit of, heaviness when it comes to cream product, I get that. But these are just overly oily, and I'm just gonna swatch it because yeah, so it just feels really oily, and it feels really heavy, and I mean, it's a beautiful color. It's absolutely gorgeous. You can't deny that the color's pretty, but it's a heavy product, and yeah, it doesn't, I don't know. It blends well, but you have to basically rub the crap out of your face in order to get it to actually blend well. So that's two things that I don't want to buy again. Now this, I'm glad that they gave you enough product for what you paid for. I think this was $23. I'll put the prices down below, because I bought them during the summer, so I don't really remember how much they were. But do you see how dirty that gets? So just with the blushes, it's greasy. Every time I put this on my face, I just feel like someone just slapped me with a piece of freshly cooked bacon, which yeah, that's the last thing I want in my life, is to my face to feel like that. I want something dry, I want something blendable, and it's just nasty. I love Fenty Beauty. Like I said in my last video, I love them. I love their products. I think they're amazing, but this one was just, it was a miss. It was such a massive miss, and I hope they just reformulate later, or I don't know, maybe just discontinue it, but I freaking hate it. Okay, so moving on to the next one. This is the Becca Glow Dust Highlighter, and it's in Champagne Pop, so that's their most popular color. So I do love Becca's pressed highlighter formula. Oh my god. Okay, so I know we're in lockdown, and most stores you can't swatch anything. So I would definitely suggest you just go buy one. You won't regret it. I'm telling you. It's beautiful. It's so it gives you this ethereal highlight look. Oh my god, it's so freaking pretty. But it's terrible. So my only gripe, usually I don't have issues with loose glitters, but these glitters for some reason are just, I don't know if you can see it or not, but they're just really chunky. And so it's awkward when you dip a brush into there, because as soon as you dip it in, you've already gotten like way too much product. So it's hard to like really control how much product you're getting and how much product you want on your face. So like, yeah, you can tap it and just get rid of some of that excess, but like, because it's so pigmented and so glittery, like just a little bit goes a little bit too far. Yeah, you're gonna end up looking super glittery, which, I mean, most people like that. Like, I love a good glitter. I do love a good glitter, but there's just something about like not having enough control like I would with just like a compact with a pressed glitter that's in a pan. I feel better when it's pressed. When it's loose, I just feel like I'm wasting more product than I'm actually using, which is not good because I want to get, you know, a decent amount of product for what I paid for it, and I want to be able to use it for a long time. Okay, so moving on to the next group of products. So this one is more of a like, sorry, just like kick my camera. So this one is more of just like a first launch issue. So this is the Ordinary High Coverage Foundation. So this is their full coverage foundation. And I know like everyone on TikTok has been going nuts about this and their serum foundation. I honestly have no problem with it. I think it feels good on the face. It's not super heavy. It doesn't move like you would expect it to. My only problem is their lack of shades when they first came out. So I know they have more shades and undertones available now. I get that, which is great. But when I first got it, I have more of like a neutral undertone. So for me, I'm looking for that shade that's like right in the middle. I'm not looking for anything that's red or anything that's like blue or orange. Like I'm looking for that neutral, just in the middle shade. And so this one is 3.0Y, which is a medium dark yellow. Excuse me. And it's a little too yellow for my skin. Like, it's just, yeah, it makes me look jaundiced, and I don't want to look jaundiced. So that's just like more of a like first release issue. And they've definitely improved it. Like I've seen their shade ranges, they're much better now. So I actually have 3 of these, but I can't find the third one. So bear with me. So these are the Glossier Perfecting Skin Tints. So I actually got these when they first came out. So they're old. They're old, and I know that like I'm supposed to throw them away after like 12 months, but I don't know. I like kind of keeping them around because they don't smell weird. They don't feel weird. Like as long as I just like shake them up, and like my room is pretty temperate. So it's not like it gets like too hot in here or too cold in here. So it doesn't really affect the formula too much. But so I got these when they first came out. And of course, like I have these 2 shades. I have dark and I have deep. And as you can see, both dark and deep are not very traditionally dark or deep, that's not bad. Like they only had like a couple of colors when they first came out. So they definitely expanded their shade range, and I've actually like reordered them because my new shade is G6 and that matches my skin perfectly. So when I first got these, like the one gripe that I had besides just not having that accurate shade was just it's like for some reason, like after you apply it onto your skin, it made like a white cast. It had like a white, like when you apply sunscreen, and I know like you're supposed to tap it and everything, like it didn't matter what you did, it was just like this white, just weirdness on my skin. And so I just like stepped away from it because I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna mess with that anymore. But the new ones, they don't do that. So I think it was just like another like new release formulation issue. Okay, so we're gonna move on to face palettes. And I'm gonna start with this one. This is the Caliente palette by Artist Couture. And I got this during the summer because I was just like obsessed with neons during the summer. So I got this, and as you can see, it has a lot of very bright, very beautiful colors. But the only problem is it's dry. It's so dry. It's dry. Okay, so I'm actually gonna I'm just gonna like do these all in one, because why not? They're all neon colors. So I'm also going to grab this one. This is the Art Library by MAC. This is in Its Designer. And this one is the Lime Crime Venus Vivid palette. So as you notice, all 3 of these palettes, they are they're all neons. So, you know, you're expecting like a really nice color payoff and for it to be like really bold and bright, but this is the driest makeup I own. Like, it's just ashy, and you see how you get like zero pigmentation off of that? Yeah, I'm glad I got this on sale. So I'm not mad because it was like to finish my collection. So I'm not too upset about it. I did pay full price for this, and like this one color in Fuego it's so rocky. It's rocky and it's dry. It's like absolutely unacceptable, just like how awful this is. And of course, this one is the same way. So this one by MAC, you know, you get that. Oh my god, okay. Yeah, I'm not, it's like you, okay, I'm just gonna, okay, so as you can see, I dug into the pan with my finger, and that's all that I got with the color payoff. That's all I got. Chalk. Yeah, that's all I got from that. And if you're looking for a neon palette, don't go with these. Go with any of like the Ico palettes. What else do I have? Oh, the new, oh my god, Fade Into Q palette by ColourPop. I have that one as well. Honestly, any of their monochromatic palettes, get those if you're looking for a neon or like colorful rainbow palette. So the next one is the other MAC Art Library palette, and this is in Flamboyant. And so the only reason why I got this is because I saw the counter manager of the MAC counter when I was working at Macy's. She was doing a look with this on a guest, and so I was just like, I need that, because I really didn't own any reds or like burgundies at that time. So I was just like, okay, so I'll get that. And like the glitters are really pretty, like the foils are like absolutely gorgeous, but the mattes they just give you that dusty payoff like it did with the other palette in that collection. And there's also like one more palette, it's called Nude Model. Yeah, so it's Nude Model, and I was thinking about getting that, but like after seeing just the quality of those two things, I was just like, yeah, I can't justify getting that. Alright, so the next palette, and this is a face palette. I meant to do this earlier, but I forgot about it. So this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dream Glow palette. So the colors are beautiful, the payoff's like really lovely. My only problem is just how messy it is. I'm gonna like put this up closer so you can see. See how disgusting that is? They're awful. So they have a lot of like what is it? Fallout. They have a lot of fallout. It kicks up a lot. Like I love the shade Unicorn. That's like my most used shade. And honestly, it kicks up so much to the point where I literally, if I'm in my bins and I'm looking for a highlighter, I will look through every single last one until this is like the last resort. When this is like the last one, I'm just like, you know, whatever, that'll work. I go for it. So another thing from ABH is I'm just gonna knock these two out real quick. It's their Carly Bible palette and their Riviera palette. So I actually returned the Riviera palette because the colors were horrible. I'm gonna pull it up on my phone because thankfully I got a photo offline of it. And like, I don't know what's going on with companies and mattes lately. I don't know what happened back then. So this is like a pre-Alyssa Edwards palette. I think they actually put this one out there. This is just my conspiracy, that they put this one out there just to kind of like test the waters to see if consumers will actually like go for anything that's like really colorful. Because if you think about like Modern Renaissance, Prism palette, what was that one that everyone hated? Subculture. Yeah, I returned that and I found it again like last year at TJ Maxx, and it was like 19 bucks. So yeah, I got a good deal on that. So this is like pre-Alyssa Edwards palettes, because all their other palettes are they're pretty tame. Like they're really neutral, they're really understated, they didn't have like any of these bright colors in it. So This is another one that I purchased while I was working at Macy's, and the thing that drew me in about it, outside of the glitters, because the glitters are gorgeous. I have no complaints about the glitters in any of the ABH palettes. Zero complaints. It's just the mattes. Like, I really wanted to like Bahamas and Cans. I wanted to like those. Cans was patchy. I could never get that to blend properly on my eye. And I've used other purple shadows before with different palettes, and like I was able to get those to blend, but for some reason this one just did not, it didn't want to do anything. Like as soon as I put it on, it just was like, it was just a patch. It was a patch on my face, and I was like, I can't go out looking like this. So I just ended up taking it off and just never using that purple again. Bahamas was okay. It wasn't the best neon pink that I've used. I do have to say it's not the best, but it was okay. It did what I wanted it to do. Of course, like most reds, purples, blues, pinks, oranges, it did stain the crap out of my eye, and I was not a fan of that. The other colors were just kind of boring, and I don't know. It was a weird. I understand the color story. You know, you're giving like, I'm thinking Mediterranean, you know, boating, sunshine, seashells, lots of corals and stuff like that. I get that. I get where they were going with this color story, but like I'm looking at some of the colors and I'm just like, we really could have lived without this. I could have lived without Coastline and Cabana and Estate. Like I could have just knocked those three colors out and been fine. I don't know what I replaced them with, but I didn't like those. So the other palette is the Carly Bible palette, and I actually still have that. I'm too lazy to get it. And this palette's okay. I have no like real like gripes about this palette. I have no real gripes. I think it's an okay palette. It does a job if you're going for like a soft glam look with just like a little bit more color to it. There are two colors in here, Cindy and Stev, which I don't think belong with that color story. Like if I take those two colors out, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But those two colors are just kind of random. The glitters are really pretty. The mattes work. I got it on sale, so I can't really complain. But I don't know. It's just kind of like a middle of the road palette that when I think about it, and I think about like the rest of my palettes in my collection, because I have over like 100 eyeshadow palettes. I have a problem. It's kind of like middle of the road. And it's weird because like I feel the same way about like some of my Pat McGrath palettes that I have. There's some of them that I'm just like, yes, that was a good investment, but then there are others where I don't know, it's so pedestrian, and I'm not a fan of spending $125 on something that's just gonna be pedestrian. Like I need a little bit more. I need it to go like that extra step. Okay, so that's it for the ABH stuff. So we're gonna move on to Morphe. So I'm gonna start. We all know what happened with this. So this is the Icy Fantasy in the 35i, and I actually set the gondola for this one. And I was really excited because like, I mean, we weren't allowed to purchase these before like any of the customers did, so I had to wait until that day after work to get this. And I swatched it in the store, and I think just like the makeup goblin who just sits on my shoulder and is just like, you're my spider. It just kind of like jumped out that day. It just, because I didn't need any of this. The glitters are pretty. They're pretty. The main thing that I was looking forward to were these mattes, of course, like the pastel mattes. I was looking forward to those. And they gave me dust. They just gave me, mind you, they feel really soft. They feel really buttery. We know Jaclyn Hill with her butteriness. She loves that friggin' word. But they give you nothing. This is the most, and that's with 2 swatches. That's not even just with 1. That's with dipping in twice. They just give you nothing. Like I have ColourPop palettes that are cheaper than this, that give me more of a payoff. And mind you, I love the campaign because like they had Pony Park as the face of this campaign. So like when she came out with like those beautiful pastels and like it was just something about that collection. Like their marketing was great. I had to give them that. Their marketing for this was like amazing. But I think what I was expecting was kind of like what we got with the Maddie Ziegler palette. Like that's what I was expecting out of this. Like that one was a little bit more pigmented, but it still had the pastels to like carry you through and give you that like really cool, I guess we're going back to the early 2000s. Wow. Going back to my childhood. I guess we're going back to like the early 2000s with that type of makeup look. And I get that, but why did they... I think this is another thing where they're just testing the waters to see where they can go with this. Like, I actually went to Morphe's website while I was doing research, put that in so many air quotes, just to see some of the reviews for this palette, because it's actually sold out on their website. And I looked at it, and for some reason it has like a really high rating. It has like an unusually high rating, and I'm just like, I don't believe you. So I looked at like some of the lower ratings just to see what people actually had to say. Yeah, so it got a 4.6. It got a 4.6, and I'm just like, y'all are freaking liars. Like, I'm looking at some of these looks, and they're beautiful, but I'm telling you, like, there's no way they just use this Morphe palette. Like, there's no way. So I'm gonna go to the 1-star ratings. And yeah, this person goes, do not buy this palette. I can't see that word because family friendly, wink wink, nudge nudge. It's a crabby palette. And yeah, that's these people do not like this thing. So I'm gonna go to the 2-star ratings, and it says not what James Charles hyped it up to be. Do not buy this. Pigment? Question mark, question mark. Yeah, I'm wondering that too. Where's my $25 worth of pigment? I just want to talk. Yeah, it sucks. And it is sidewalk chalk. Someone actually put sidewalk chalk dust, and that's what it gives you. If you are, I'm not telling you to go and buy a box of Crayola sidewalk chalk. I'm not telling you to do that. But if you do want better pigmentation, definitely go get that. Walmart has a good deal. Alright, so moving on to this one. This is the 35 Emboss Smooth palette, and I got this because it has a lot of grains. So as you saw in my first video, you know, obviously I'm a fan of grains, and this one has like a lot of like mossy, like more like foresty, olivey greens. So I really like that. This is a Patches palette in addition to the Icy Fantasy. They're just both really patchy, and the weird part about this one that I have not experienced with like any other palette in my collection, this one smells weird. Like it smells like wax. I don't know why it smells like wax. I couldn't tell why it smells like wax. I couldn't tell you why it smells like wax, but it smells like wax. Yeah, it just has this like strange odor to it, and I don't get it. I think there's actually something wrong with this. I don't know. There's something wrong with that. Okay, so moving on to 2 products I actually threw away. So these are from ColourPop, and they are the Bff Mascara and the brow pencils. So these are like when they first launched their mascara and their brow pencils. So I actually ordered the brow pencil from Ulta because I think there was just like, they were sold out of it on ColourPop's website. Oh, also their liquid liner sucks, but I threw it away too, but that's neither here nor there. So they were sold out of like the shade I needed on ColourPop's website, so I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna order it from Ulta. So I went to the store, I did the store to door, I got it like 3 days later. I was excited because I'm like, yes, you know, this is just like it's an affordable eyebrow pencil. I go to use it, and it's really waxy, and it skips. And like I'm like strictly a Benefit Precise on my brow girl. That is like my holy grail, hands down favorite eyeshadow pencil. Not eyeshadow pencil, eyebrow pencil. Yeah, that's my favorite hands down eyebrow pencil. Like I wouldn't use anything else. Like I've tried this. This is the Brow MVP from Fenty Beauty, and honestly, they have the same type of formula. Like if you want to experience this but spend more money on it for like no reason, get this one. It sucks. I don't like it. I'm actually using the ABH brow pomade today because I'm out of my Benefit Precise on my brow, so I had to get some more of that. Okay, so yeah, it's really waxy, and I know they actually like reformulated it, so maybe I have to try it again to see if I like their formula now. But like when it first came out, oh my god, I've had better success with crayons. Not that I know about that, but whatever. So the Bff Mascara, I actually got that in that blue shade. I'll actually post a picture here of it. I got it in blue because like I wanted the Shiseido mascara, but I also didn't want to pay $24 for mascara. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna find a nice dupe, and I just went to ColourPop's website and they just came out with these and they were $8. So I figured like I think that's a good compromise. So I got it, I used it, and it's it's clumpy and it crumbles. So it doesn't matter how much of the product that you wipe off on the tube when you're applying it. It's just a really clumpy formula. Like when it first came out, it was just like really clumpy. And also like I noticed that it doesn't nourish your eyelashes the way that you want your mascara to nourish your eyelashes. Like I don't want something that's like flaking and falling onto my cheeks throughout the day. I don't want that. It's like the most uncomfortable feeling ever. And like especially when I was helping customers when I was working at Macy's, like I would go and touch up my makeup in the mirror and I just noticed like all these blue flecks. Like it looked like I had blue like freckles on my cheeks. It was so bad. So I ended up just throwing that away because I was like, whatever, I'm not using that anymore. Alright, and the last product I'm going to talk about, so this has nothing to do with the product. I think this product is great. I love it. This is a me problem. So I don't have a lot of eyebrows. Like, yeah, I mean, you can look here. That's all filled. I have my dad's eyebrows. Like my mom has great brows, so my brother got great brows. My dad has like the worst eyebrows ever, and I got those. So basically my eyebrows are just like, they're really short and they don't have a tail. So I'm like constantly like doing things to like just beef them up a little bit so that I actually look like I'm not an alien. And so I wanted to get the boy brow because I saw the ad for it and I was just like, oh, that's so pretty. Like the way that the models put it on, I was thinking this is going to be great because it has this little spoolie and of course it has like product on it. And yeah, I just thought it was gonna work for me. Turns out you need just naturally thick eyebrows. So this is nothing to do with Glossier. I just regret getting it because I was a little bit overly ambitious. Alright, so that is gonna do it for today's video. Thank you for joining me on my journey of wasting lots of money. If you have not already, make sure you like and subscribe and turn on notifications for more videos. And if you don't, yeah, thanks for joining me today. I definitely appreciate you being here. Alright, I will see you guys in another video, and you have a wonderful day, morning, evening, whatever. Have a wonderful anything. Alright, see ya.